This is Greg Mafidis, founder and chairman of the Posse List, and I'm here at the Georgetown University Law Center for the first full day of the conference Law Firm Evolution, Brave New World, or is it business as usual? And I have with me this afternoon a very good friend of mine, Ron Friedmann, who is with Integrion, where he serves as Senior Vice President of Marketing, but we probably know Ron much, much better as the incessant blogger on his site, Strategic Legal Technology. Ron, we just attended a pretty interesting seminar, if you want to call it that, regarding these emerging technologies, these emerging services in the legal industry. What was your takeaway from that?
Well, I think the first takeaway is that the market is in motion, that there's a lot of uncertainty, but change is happening. So there may be self-selection in who attends this, but I don't think anyone here thinks that the new normal will be the same as the old normal. How that shakes out, I don't know. I was a little surprised at some of the large law firm representatives who are basically, in so many words, saying it's still the same. But I think the majority view is...
Like last night, yeah. I mean, it seemed that Tom Yanucci of Crookland and Ellis was under attack the entire 2 hours.
Absolutely.
The old guard, the old guard says, no, it's not changing. No, we're okay.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of interesting change to come out of this.
I'm kind of intrigued because obviously on the panel this afternoon was Leah Cooper, who, as you know, went from Rio Tinto to CPA Global.
Right.
And she brought up some of the issues that are near and dear to the heart of Integrion, which is outsourcing, LPOs, et cetera. Can you just give me some thoughts on that?
Sure, just by way of background for the viewers. So Leah Cooper was until, a month ago or so, the managing director, global general counsel of Rio Tinto, worldwide mining and extraction industry. And she, last June, announced a deal to have a team of lawyers at CPA working for her exclusively, working for her company exclusively out of India. And she explained how that has been a big success, has saved millions of dollars. There's also an interview with her at Legal Week with Richard Susskind. Yes. So I think that's really opening a door for other legal process outsourcers because it's showing it can work and save money.
What's interesting is that move was also predicated by the move of IGC to make the investment that it did in CPA Global. My understanding is from the interview we had with Leah earlier today that was kind of a so-called package deal indicating, Leah, would you come on board and really help us pump up the volume on this? So as you said, a lot of things in flux, a lot of things moving around.
Right. Well, I would add, wearing my Integrion hat, we've also just recently had a $50 million publicly announced investment by Actis, which is a private equity fund. And so there is money, and we heard some of that at the conference today. There is outside money coming into the legal market.
In fact, yeah, during this conference we met at least 3 outside shall I say investors who have been attending all 3 days. The last session, actually, Tuesday, finishes up with how law firms can literally capitalize, but also the various investment opportunities in this market.
Right. I met one of them, well, there may be others, but I met a gentleman last night who's at a venture capital fund looking at startups, but they're private equity people prowling around. So I think that indicates the level of opportunity because the money, I'll be bold and say, unlike the large law firms, the financial markets are much more rigorous in their analysis. So if they're putting money in this market, I think that's a good sign.
Okay. Can you just give us kind of an arc of the various services that Integrion provides?
Sure. So Integrion is a legal process outsourcer, and when people hear that, they think mainly of lawyers in India reviewing documents in litigation, and that's certainly a large volume operation. We also provide other legal support services like contract review and due diligence, but Integrion's also developed what we call middle office outsourcing. So about 15 months ago, Osborne Clarke moved much of the British, the top 30 UK firm. They moved about 75 of their employees over to Integrion, and we're now providing services to Osborne Clarke, but using that as a core team to serve other law firms. So we now have 3 publicly announced clients, for example, in the UK for shared library services.
The shared library services, which has gotten a lot of publicity, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. I think that law librarians and librarians have been facing cost pressures for quite some time. Digital and print media have gone up in price. Space is very expensive. And so one of the options firms have to control those costs and have a higher level of services to outsource. So they're seeing that they don't have to have the service on site. They don't have to own the resources to get the research support that they need.
Okay. You talked about the UK. Has Integrion been also moving into continental Europe at all?
Not so far. That's a little bit harder, and longer term we plan to. The challenge there is, of course, the language issue, right? So it's much easier to serve the U.S., UK, Canada, and Australia. Anglo law and English.
Okay. You'll be here for the whole 3 days?
I will indeed.
What do you think is the next most important seminar for you to be attending? As far as I guess they all are, because there's so much information being, and you have the experts from all over the world. I mean, they're bringing in people from China.
Right. You mean at this conference?
Yeah, conference,
oh,
yeah.
I'm hoping to attend all of them. I had a phone call I had to take, so I was missing one session anyway. So the timing of this worked out, but I plan to be in there, and I've been tweeting and blogging, or blogging.
Okay, great.
You mean you haven't read them?
No, I haven't. I've been too busy doing interviews. That's great. Ron, thank you for taking the time and meeting with us.
Well, thank you, Greg.
Okay.